Okay, so we are discussing about the concept of BADI, creation of a BADI. So
This conference will now be recorded.
the basic purpose of a BADI is for adding some functionality, some functionality to SAP standard programs or objects or DB tables or say something like views or include programs or screens or menu or fields. So in this any one of them we might have to have this. Okay, so these are the things that we have in which we are going to add some functionality. But here the example that we are doing here we will be going ahead and creating the basic definition as well. We are creating in this scenario, as I told you in the earlier session, that definition always exists by default in the SAP standard program. Okay, so this is what we have to find out and then do the implementation for it. Okay, and yesterday we have seen that for every definition that we have here, we need to create the definition in SE18, but that was the old concept. And now you have to go ahead and create the enhancement point. Okay, enhancement. So we need to create an enhancement spot. So we need to create an enhancement spot. So we'll be creating an enhancement spot here, and this enhancement spot we have here, we'll be creating SE18 only, and to the enhancement spot we'll be adding, assigning BADI definition. We'll be assigning the BADI definition to the enhancement spot. All these things we are going to do it in the SE18. But then when we do the BADI definition, it is mandatory for us to have a interface as well. So we will be creating the interface as well. So assigning BADI definition, and then we'll be assigning BADI interface. Okay, so we have the BADI definition and we have the BADI interface. So these two things will be discussed, it will be assigning in the SE18 only. As we discussed, interface is something in which we are going to create some methods, and the implementation for these methods, okay, we'll be creating a method. Okay, the implementation for this particular method that we have created here, we will be doing in the SE19 transaction under the implementation part. This is what we have done yesterday. Okay, so now let's go ahead and create. So the naming convention, I'm taking it normally as Z employee one your employee code underscore BADI definition. So first of all, first and foremost is we have to give the enhancement spot. So enhancement spot will give it as something like Z123456 underscore BADI e spot. Okay, e spot 01. Okay, enhancement spot 01. To this we'll be attaching the BADI definition. So this BADI definition will be doing in Z123456 underscore BADI underscore the definition part. So definition part is DEF underscore 01. Okay, let's do that, and then we'll be creating an interface for that. Interface is mandatory. Okay, for everybody interface is mandatory. And remember, this interface also will be by default present for a standard BADI. Whatever baddies will define will be checking the real time one. It will have the default one. So in this we have, so we'll be going ahead with that, assigning BADI interface, and we'll be going ahead with BADI INTF INTF underscore 01 interface 01. Now this would be the interface, and we'll be creating a method as well, and method will be creating some random method we'll be creating. So then we'll be creating the interface. The implementation will happen to be z12345 underscore BADI underscore the implementation imp underscore 01 implementation. Okay, so this is what we have done yesterday, so let's do that now. So let me first get into the SE18 transaction, and this is where we have to define the BADI. So here we'll give it as something like as we proposed. The proposed one was the enhancement spot we have done. So as I told you, this enhancement spot is mandatory in the latest version. In the old version, you can see when you open SE18, you can see only BADI name. That's it. You'll not be able to see enhancement spot. Create. We have this as BADI implement definition for material details. Okay, now here we'll go ahead with the BADI definition, and then we'll create that. So this is the enhancement spot. For the enhancement spot, inside the enhancement spot we have to create the BADI definition. So let us go ahead and create that. Okay, so we have this z 123456 underscore BADI. So what was that we have assumed? We said that it will be like 123456, that's the employee code underscore BADI underscore definition 01. BADI underscore definition underscore 01. We have BADI definition, and we are going to go ahead with that. Okay, so we have created the BADI definition, in which we are going ahead with so here we have BADI definition, and here we have to mandatorily create an interface. Without the interface creation, it will not allow us to activate this. Okay, let me try this. It will throw an error that interface has not been implemented. it says error. Okay, so it will not be able to activate. Okay, interface is not implemented. So for that, what we have to do is we have to go ahead and double click on the interface, and here we need to give the interface name. The interface name that we have proposed here is this one. Now save it. We don't have to do. Now what we have to do is we have to write method, at least one method. Okay. I'm creating the method as meth1. Okay, and this happens to be the instance. By default it's an instance method for BADI material details material. Okay.
This conference will now be recorded.
So in this method we are giving the import parameter. We're giving the import parameter, and then we'll be doing the export parameter. So meth1, I selected that and clicked on parameters, and in this we have meth1 as the import parameter, and export parameter happens to be some mara, it underscore mara. This is the exporting one. Now here we have created a z. Okay, let me check that structure that we had created there. And in this, like as of now, in this scenario that we are doing, we are not taking it as an internal table, we are taking it as a work area. Okay, I have taken this z110 mara, and in this we are not considering it as a work area. It is a it is not an internal table, it's a work area mara, and here we are giving it as x mara. Okay, that's it, enter. Now this is export parameter. So we have done this, and we are not doing the implementation part cannot be done at the definition level. Right now we were able to successfully activate the BADI definition. Okay, we have just done that BADI definition with an enhancement spot. Now what we have to do is we have to carry forward this enhancement spot and go into SE19 transaction. In the SE19 transaction, we need to go ahead and access this the implementation, create implementation, and we have to give the enhancement spot name here, and we have to click on the create implementation. Now we are creating the implementation. Till now we have done the definition. In the definition part we have done the enhancement spot, and then we have done the BADI definition, and then BADI method and interface is what we have created.
This conference will now be recorded.
Now that we have done the definition part and we have done the enhancement spot, we need to give the enhancement spot that we have created in the SE18 transaction and create an implementation for this. So new implementation for implementation. Okay. So here we need to give the technical name, right? So the technical name that we proposed for the BADI definition was this. BADI implementation was this Z123456 implementation 0, and then we just said OK. BADI implementation, you say OK, and then we'll go ahead with say OK. Now here we need to give the BADI implementation BADI definition name and BADI implementation name here. So BADI definition name, you can select it from the drop down. And then the implementation class. The implementation class, we need to give some name for the implementation class. And this is the implementation. So the implementation that we have done is this one. Let's select the same thing. And BADI implementation class will give it as CLASS underscore 01. Okay, this is a new implementation class that we are declaring. Okay, so this is a new one. Just say okay. So this is the BADI implement. In the BADI implementation, first thing that we have to do is, okay, so the class name that we are given will be automatically associated. Now this is the method that we have inside the class that will be created. Okay, so automatically this inside this class, this interface tilt method will come. So we'll double click on it and just say yes, and here we need to do the implementation in the method. So in the implementation, what are we doing is we are writing select the field names that we have in the structure. Let me open that structure name. So this is the structure name. Okay, select oh, I mean sorry, matnr ersda ernam, matnr ersda and ernam. Okay, from mara into wa underscore mara, where matnr equal to matnr. So that this matnr is something which we have given in the import parameters, right? That one. So this is not a table, so we are not giving into table. Okay, and then since it's for work area, we have to write the end select also, because end select will have it as end select. Save it. Syntax check. Enhancement is not consistent. Okay, that's something which we ignore, and we activate it. Okay, so once it's been done, we'll go ahead with, so this is successfully done. So we have done with the definition part and implementation part. The next thing that is left is that we have to use this particular BADI in a program. Okay, we have to consume that in a program so that we can execute it. That we'll do it. We'll do it.
This conference is no longer being recorded. This conference will now be recorded.
So here we are writing a program to consume that particular BADI that we have created just now. Okay, so for that I'm going into SC38, writing a program Z123456 underscore BADI underscore PROG underscore 01. So program 1. Okay, and this is for actually material investment. So material BADI, then we have the executable program. Just say okay, then we'll go ahead with, we are going to go ahead with class cl underscore exit handler. This is something which is mandatory. Cl underscore exit handler definition load. So we need to write the definition load. So we have to write this so that the definition of this particular cl underscore exit handler, which is already existing, will be loaded. So this is not mandatory in the latest version because it's something which we used to write previously. So now I'm writing l underscore BADI underscore instance type ref to that the interface that we have. Okay, the interface that we have, type ref to the interface that we have. Okay, the interface name I just need to take that. Okay, now I'll just enter that later. So data, let me check that name and come back here. W underscore Mara, type that Z110 underscore Mara. Okay, then we'll have the parameters P underscore MATNR, type MATNR. Okay, now here we'll go for, or you can also write Mara hyphen MATNR. Now, then we'll go for startup selection. In the startup selection, we'll go ahead with, we are going to call the method called get underscore instance. Okay, and the exit name is what something which we need to give here. Okay, so we need to give the exit name and we need to give the instance name as well. Okay, so exit name and instance name is something which we need to give. So let me do that.
This conference